Thank you to tune in to Rony TV podcast, local news and international news. Let's begin. A 5.2 magnitude quake shakes Southern California resident. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, it struck at 10:08 a.m. local time and was centered in San Diego County. It was felt as far north as Los Angeles County, about 120 miles, 193 kilometers away. The quake was followed by several aftershocks. A group of 5 small businesses sued President Donald Trump, seeking to block new tariffs that he has imposed on foreign imports in recent weeks. The lawsuit in the U.S. Court of International Trade alleged that Trump has illegally taken over Congress's power to levy tariffs by claiming that trade deficits with other countries constitute an emergency. The Liberty Justice Center, which is representing the owner-operated companies, mentioned Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs of at least 10% on imports from most countries and higher rates for scores of other nations are devastating small businesses across the country. We continue. House Democrats are demanding that Department of Homeland Security officials justify why they tried to speak with students at 2 Los Angeles elementary schools. DHS officials said agents were attempting to conduct welfare checks on children they said entered the country as unaccompanied minors. According to school superintendent, the agents mentioned they were there to check on the students' well-being, and they told school officials that the students' families had given permission for the contact. The court did not decide on President Trump's broad claims of a wartime power to deport alien enemies. It also left unresolved most questions about what happens next, including the possibility that the administration will not comply with a judge's order. But the justices agreed that all those facing deportation have a right to a hearing. It's a decision likely to slow the pace of removals, but not to stop them. More news. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele said he would not return to the United States. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, 29, who lived in the U.S. for over 14 years before the Trump administration deported him. The White House officials mentioned it was an administrative error. They now acknowledge that forcing his return would interfere with El Salvador's sovereignty, despite a Supreme Court ruling that requested the U.S. take steps to facilitate his return. A survey found more than 700 Californians voters portrays a populace that values the contributions of immigrants, regardless of legal status, and believes their well-being is intertwined with a well-functioning state. And also the poll found that more than 2/3 of respondents support allowing all state residents to purchase health insurance through Covered California, regardless of immigration status. Currently, unauthorized immigrants are not eligible to buy a plan through the state's health insurance marketplace. The president tried to assert authority over independent agencies that regulate the media business. Trump called the network fake news and requested to revoke CBS license and for his FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, to impose the maximum fines and punishment, which is substantial, for their unlawful and illegal behavior. We continue. Former Vice President Kamala Harris's thinking about whether to run for governor has other Democrats in the 2026 race feeling that the state needs leaders to step up now to protect Californians and combat the destructive policies of President Trump. There is a large and diverse field of candidates vying for the state's highest office. California has never elected a woman as governor, and only once has a person of color held the office, Governor Romualdo Pacheco, for just a few months in 1875. The Trump administration demanded Harvard end its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, adopt merit-based admissions, and cooperate with immigration authorities, or risk losing $9 billion in federal funding. Alan Garber, president of Harvard University, mentioned the loss of funding would halt life-saving research. Harvard's rejection of Trump's demands marks the first time a majority university has pushed back against funding threats made by the Trump administration. In other news, an increasing number of celebrities are relocating from Los Angeles, citing high taxes, the cost of living, wildfires, and a desire for a more peaceful lifestyle. Notable figures such as Sylvester Stallone, Kelly Clarkson, and Matthew McConaughey have moved to states like Texas, Florida. Many seek more space, nature, or less government regulation. In San Luis Obispo, an unhoused man won a $1 million jackpot from a triple red 777 scratcher ticket purchased at Sandy's Deli Liquor, initially believing he had won $100,000. The store manager drove him to Fresno to claim his winnings, as he lacked transportation. The man plans to use the money for purchase a home and a car. Stay tuned for Dondon 604 editorial.
Things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Thank you, people, to tune in to Rony TV podcast. I'm your host, Don 604. Again, we're going to have a wonderful show. You know, it's the editorial, so most likely today we're going to try to, be, and at least insightful, resourceful for all the people. For those of you watching me, or listening to me and with your smartphone, with your smart TV, thank you very much. And also, I would like to say special thanks to Patnet TV, Patnet the Hub. They're without them, I will never be able to be in that platform. So they allow me to distribute my show. They allowed me to broadcast my show. So you could do the same. So most likely, go ahead and follow up with them, because you could get let's see, you don't know how to edit, you don't know how to film, you don't know how to use a camera. They will help you. They have some wonderful workshop to help you to achieve what you want to achieve, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your color, regardless of your ideas. Unless you know what kind of ideas, so you can't put that there. You know what I'm saying? Public access is a wonderful thing happening to us. Without public access, we'll like I said, public access is freedom of speech. Put it this way. So we're gonna go in and with a quick break, and when we come back, I'm gonna let you know what's going on. Stay tuned. Thank you again to tune in. So most likely, what's happening today? So yeah, let's talk about right away to the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal. So what was the Panama Canal? So somebody owned the Panama Canal now. So most likely it's the Chinese. So to make a quick history, so sometimes now, I mean today, the Panama Canal it's also positioned as, like they say, geopolitical. They said involving now they wants to they're owned by the Chinese. So the Chinese own the Panama, and most likely they want to sell it now. So Trump mentioned he wanted to, if United States could get a hold of it. So, but I was doing some research, but they mentioned the Chinese consortium. There's BlackRock. BlackRock is a big conglomerate. They want to purchase the Panama Canal. So apparently they don't want. The Chinese. I don't want to say nationalists, but the Chinese. Stating, hey, we should keep that to the Chinese end because, about the tariff, the fighting for the tariff. So that's what it is. So, yeah, so they wanted to, they say, I think they were trying to negotiate around March 2025. So it's a consortium. So they agreed to buy, control, like two major ports. They said the Balboa and Cristobal. So they located at the end of the canal. So they're saying that's what's strategic. So it's strategic and economic motivation. So they say the value, it's around 23 billion. So they wanted to also purchase 43 ports from Hong Kong-based CK Hutchison Holding. So by securing the buy, and the ports, the two ports, the Balboa and the Cristobal ports. So BlackRock's trying to, they're trying to make bigger their portfolio. So bigger portfolio, you got bigger power to negotiate. So they said these ports, they are really critical for global shipping, and their control offer a substantial economic benefit. So most likely, it's really a big tension. It's a big tension between U.S. and China. So, as you know, President Trump mentioned also, he had expressed concern over the Chinese influence near the canal. And so they're saying also, it's posing strategic threats to our nation. So they're saying the acquisition by a U.S. lead consortium, it's better. So they want to make an American presence in the region, but on the other end, the Chinese don't like that. They wanted to pass that over to another Chinese consortium. So that's the debate, say. So it's important also the Panama Canal itself, is not part of the transaction. The canal operated by the Panama Canal Authority. It's a autonomous Panamanian government agency. The ports acquired by a BlackRock consortium are adjacent facility that handle cargo and logistic, but do not control the canal operation. You gotta understand that. So most likely it's for two ports they're fighting. They do not control the the operation. So that's what it is. So So, and the other news. How could I say that? We have. Like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to do. Let's put it. I don't want to say ghetto news, but I don't want to do politic news. So most likely, Big U. They say he's a prominent figure in Los Angeles hip hop scene, and allegedly leader of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips. So they arrest him in March 2025 and 43 counts federal indictment. So the charge include racketeering, murder, extortion, fraud, tax evasion, and embezzlement. The check in, check out. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of check in and check out, I don't know. Do you think it's good to check in and check out? Some people don't have to check out. I don't have to check out. I don't have to check in, So, I guess it's for big people, who have money, but I don't know. This, with the internet, you guys are grown folks. I'm speaking with, especially gang members. You guys are grown folks. I'm sure you don't go do those stuff by yourself. Those stealing and robbing and, and putting the pandemic into the neighborhood, So I'm sure you're sending the small head, the people, the kids who doesn't have no way out, the kids who thinking you are a role model. That's a no. I'm not trying to say Big you're guilty, because you have to go due diligence and process by the court, the judge. I'm not the judge. I'm just trying to give you my statement. So I'm sure there's other Big U thinking, check in, but you guys have the internet. You have everything in your hand. I know who I am to talk like that, because I didn't grow up here, but I grew up in a white neighborhood. But my fight against the system, you got to know the system. Yeah, you're trying to thinking you smart. Thinking you smart. You said you have you're a non-profit, but they're also telling you got a charity fraud. They say you misuse the funds. The anti-gang non-profit development option, diverting public grants and private donation to support criminal activities. Yo, G, I don't know if you're in your cell or you just wake up. G, I don't know, when you up there, you mingle with other people, you it's a privilege. Forget everything, sometimes you gotta cut all those people now trying to take like it's gonna be money we're gonna make. We're gonna try to push advertise the gang culture and did you see the mafioso have advertising their gang culture? It's only fucking like people like on the hood is trying to do that. Did you see mafioso advertise? And I don't know if the mafioso exists, the mafia exists, but did you see them advertising? Only stupid people, only dumb people. Big U, you could do better. You could do better, Big U. Hopefully, you're going to get out from that. because, this is like really like, you even have this, you have COVID-19 relief fraud. So you said that you submit a fraudulent application for the pandemic relief loan intended for unique music. Come on, bro. You could do better than that. And I'm sure, by yourself, other, people will follow. But any of your gang cannot say, hey, Big U, don't do that. Put another name. And Rolling 60, trying to erase that. We're not partying. It's trying to say the gun fit your gun. You're fucking dumb. Now you're in prison. You already did prison. You back to square one now. What's the value for your kids? For what's the value? What's the value, G? Now you're in your cell thinking, I don't know why they call you big uterus, but come on, G. You gotta lift up your people. If you are in that mentality, change. Go to school, get something, a bachelor degree. Come on, be a lawyer for those kids. But you look like you're dumb, G, man. You're dumb and you don't have no sense and community sense. And people around you, because I'm sure because you're trying to give them scrum and some little bit of money so they could be close to you. They're not your friend, Big U. They could tell you, don't do that, Big U. Don't do that. I don't know if you killed that boy. I really don't know if you killed that boy. It's allegedly. It's allegedly if you kill that boy. You know what I'm saying? If you kill Rayshawn Williams. So apparently he was signed to your label. Yo, I don't know, G. So they saying they killing. You kill him after you release this song. Come on, G. Remember when the white people used to call us nigger? You gonna be mad now? You're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna kill him because he called me. My mom used to tell me, Ronnie, sit down. You know when they call you nigger, it's only a word. Unless they don't touch you, they don't do you nothing, you don't have to put hands on them. So now they telling you kill that. It's apparently that guy used to live with you. How could you do that? How could you do that? Anyway, people, I'm just venting because I know LA, California, it's a gang culture, but you guys got to stop. You don't even own any block, anything, and you're trying to fucking you don't own anything. Grow up, people, man. Trying to be the president of United States. Try to be the senator. Try to be, the commissioner. Try to be something. Fucking gang culture doesn't gonna give you nothing. You're not gonna even have your name on the street. When you pass out, I'm not trying to say people who using rap to get out of that system. Yeah, it's good to using rap, but how many rappers gonna die so you could be in how could I say that in a Walk of Fame, you know what I'm saying? So I'm so sorry, man. It remind me Atlanta ghetto state, you know what I'm saying? But and also people, white people too, listen to me. Don't try to do like black people. Don't try to do like black people. And us, we're trying to do like white people. Because I see you guys wearing your hoodie when you're driving. I'm talking about the dress code. The dress code I don't want you to have when I'm here. Take off your hoodie. Take off your hoodie. The tattoo, hey, you got your tattoo on your face, you don't gonna get no job. I'm sorry, stay on welfare check and check your UBT, your EBT. So what I'm saying, I see people with their hoodie. Hoodie remind me Ku Klux Klan. That's what it is. Ku Klux Klan. That's remind me. So you're trying to emulate the Ku Klux Klan with your hoodie and thinking you're tough and thinking you're going to get shot. If police sees you with your hoodie, you're going to get shot. That's what it is. If you want to die, fine. So, yeah, it's like I'm venting now because it's so sad. And I know it's a new culture. Maybe I'm gonna die. You know, I have only 80 years old. You know, because men you live only 80 years old. You know, so I'm missing maybe 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to tell you, there's a pajama culture. The mama wear pajama, the kids wear pajama. Yo, if there's a brawl, if there's a run you gotta do, why are you guys going with a pajama outside, pajama there, pajama there, pajama there? You gotta stop doing that. Did you see big people wearing pajama? Did you see Obama going in pajama outside, wearing the hoodie? Did you see that? People got follow the leader, follow the success of other people. Not fucking like a gang banger and thinking they're all there. Come on. You guys like a lost cause. You guys are lost cause. You know? And they're saying on the neighborhood, I swear on the neighborhood, man, cars, on the neighborhood cars, it's like, this is retard lingo. On 60s, you know, I swear on the 60s now, I swear that I'm rolling 60s. You guys really like low vocabulary. You gotta lift up, like level up. You gotta already have you know, how could I say that? The power who's trying to control what you do, the power who's trying to control where you're going, where you reside. But you could change that predicament. Education is the key. I'm telling you, educate yourself, then you got to educate your people. And it's not about, oh, I'm going to go buy a gun today and I'll be safe. I'll be safe. I'll be safe. Shut up. Go to school. That's what I'm saying. Go to school. You'll be eloquent. You'll be intelligent. You'll be smart to understand what's the future. If you were listening to my podcast last week, we're talking about robots. Now the robot is near. It's in a new future. And speaking of education, we got AI. So the robot will not replace us because we, human beings, we create the robots. Maybe not you staying in the corner selling your shit, but the future, it's robotization, it's AI. So why don't you trying to align yourself with the future, saying, hey, do I really want to be you know, some people, they have passion for their stuff. If you're successful and you like what you say, I'm not trying to tell you do what I do, you know. But if you want to change your life, if you want to change around you, your community, you got to start by yourself. And if you're getting all those, you know, you up there with those big wig, but you got to change your friend. I'm not trying to say that big wigs, you got to stick up with them. But remember where you're coming from. Sometimes don't stay in the hood. Somebody mentioned why Big U didn't move out from the hood, because mentally he was retarded. Because sometimes, let's see me, I you know, I live in an area, I'm from an era like you gotta wear cowboy boots. I'm from an era you gotta wear cowboy boots, and when you have money, you show your pride. You got a cowboy boots. But sometimes there's people like that. In the small scales, there's people like that. They can't get off from their era. It's 2025. What people do, what normal people do in 2025? They wearing pajamas. They stay in the corner. On mama, on rolling. Yo, got to change. You got to change your vocabulary. I'm myself too. I'm here to blame too. You got to change your vocabulary. That's being said, people. Let me go ahead and plug the, my people. You know what I'm saying? Padnet TV, the hub. If you want to be involved in broadcasting and camera and editing and live streaming, please go see them. Padnet, they're on 117 West Victoria Street in Long Beach. So they're the plug. I'm telling you, public access is freedom of speech. Look at me, I'm talking blah, 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 blah. It's freedom of speech. It's going to be my 9th show. It's not easy, but it's going to be my 9th show. And, I also have a lot to learn, a lot of to understand. And I know those big CEOs listen to me, and sometimes they're asking you, oh, do you have experience? But people, when you do the workshop, when you do what you have to do, they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you. They're going to give you that call. Can I work with you? Can you do that? Yeah, the big companies. You could start with small company. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's almost done. People, please, don't get involved to gang activities. Take off your hoodies. The Ku Klux Klan. Take off your hoodie. And don't wear pajama. Don't wear pajama. That show my hair right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't wear pajama. We don't do that. Let's see. You gotta run. So you're gonna run and with your sandals with a flip flop and like no. Your etiquette. It's when you get out, men and women. Let me talk for men. When you get up, man, you take a shower. You match your clothes, color of the clothes, say the shade, if you have a shade of brown, you match the shade of brown. If you have brown shoes, you match the shade of brown. You heard that. It's not anymore about, brand name, because you know about the tariff now. Now the Chinese people reveal what they do, what Gucci do, what all the brand name Louis V do, what they do. They make their stuff in China, and they change the label saying it's been France, it's been in Italy, so you could see like, they saying, how you call that feeling? That feeling is, I gotta find the name for that feeling. Anyway, it's a feeling like you delusion. It's delusion feeling like, oh, I'm rich, I got a Louis V bag. In the meantime, the owner is a scumbag. I gotta say scumbag. So he's putting that in China, cheap, and then change the label or make it then in France. This is how the way capital is trying to make money. They're trying to brainwash you thinking, oh, you got value, you buying that. Put your value up to you, G. Put your value up to you. That's what it is. I shop to Goodwill. That's what I gotta say to close it. I shop to Goodwill. So people, it's time to go. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be with you. And thank you again to follow me. And I need to have 1,000 subscribers in my YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Please, people, believe in yourself. And if you don't understand, seek other people. Not the people who standing on the street who have a hoodie who say, on my mama. Please, stay in school. I don't know, whatever age you have, stay in school. Be blessed. I'm out.